Yeah, these things are fucking gross. All right, we are back out here with the Ultra. I really enjoy riding this bike. It's super comfortable and it handles pretty well for being a big bagger. But one thing that drives me nuts about it is the air ride suspension. I've tried to fix it. I bought new air valves or whatever the fuck they are. I've tried and it still keeps leaking and I cannot figure out where it's leaking from, why it's leaking, or even how to fix the leak. I fill these things up with the recommended, I think it's 12 PSI, ride it for just a little while, the air leaks out, and I'm bottoming out over everything. So I decided that a almost 20-year-old air suspension is probably not gonna be worth fixing anyway. So I went ahead and, hold on, I got some new actual shocks. These are the Drag Specialties adjustable ride height. These are the heavy duty ones because, you know, this is a big bike. I'm a big dude. My wife likes to ride on this sometimes. So I figured the heavy duty ones would probably be worth it. Now these are the same shocks that I have on my Dyna, except I do not have the heavy duty ones on my Dyna. These are pretty straightforward for install. It's literally pop the old ones off, put the new ones on. With the air ride, I'm gonna have to follow the air lines to the fill point, I guess, and pull all that out, but it shouldn't be too hard. So first things first, I need to get the seat and both bags off, which is very easy on this bike. So this is the air ride. This is the part number 54565-97 Charlie. Like I said, I've replaced these valves. It fixed it for a little while, but it's just not seeming to stay fixed. So to hell with them. And then the air line goes here, up to here, and then there's a fill point right up here where you can barely see. That's where both lines connect. Keeping this all in one piece, I'm probably gonna end up taking this fitting off, running the hose up under here to the junction, popping the shock off, putting the valve back on, doing the same thing over there to keep it all in one piece. See if someone somewhere can salvage these. I want to go ahead and break these loose, and I'm going to jack the bike up just a little bit, just enough to get the back wheel off the ground. Go ahead and pop the shocks off, put the new ones on. That should be really about it. So yeah, you just want the back tire off the ground so it can spin, and that way there's no weight actually being supported by the shocks, and they should just pop right out. All right, so right now these shocks are at their fully compressed minimum height they can be, which I think is 11 inches, and I'm about an inch short, so they need to be at about 12 and a half is what I'm gonna go for. Yeah, everything came off really easy. I did have to cut this off, but I have an extra valve, so that's not a big deal. So I can go ahead and put that new valve on here and put everything back together, and it's all still in one piece. So I'm gonna get these adjusted. Now the Drag Specialty shocks do come with a set of spanners. Super easy to use. Like I said, I have them on my Dyna. I've had them for probably about 2 years now, and I really like them. Really easy to adjust and everything. So I'm gonna get these adjusted, bolt them back on, and we're done. So right now, from center to center is about 11 and a half inches. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten up the preload a little bit on the spring, lock it in place, the lock ring. And then to adjust the height here, you just need to crack this bottom lock ring open, back this bottom down to your desired height, and then of course, you know, make sure the holes are facing the same way, and then lock it in place, just like that. So I'm gonna get this to about, we'll say 12 and a half inches, which is actually probably about right there. So I'm gonna get this to about 12 and a half inches, lock it in place, and then do the same exact thing for the other shock. Once everything's tight, I will get my calipers out and measure it a little bit more accurately than just, you know, basically eyeballing it. We will do that next. From the top of the spring to the bottom of the spring on both of these is 6 11/16 inches. If you line these up like that, they are dead on even. So now to make sure everything is spot on, I'm gonna measure the inside of these two lock rings and make sure they are dead on as well. 0.7720. 0.8305. So let's make this one a little bit bigger. .36. 0.83. Okay, so this one is 0.8355. This one's 0.8360. So I don't think we're gonna get much closer than that. Pretty dead nuts on. Now let's see the overall length here. Right at 12.5 inches. This might sit a little bit higher than normal, which is fine with me because I'm, you know, 6'2". And once these do get put back on the bike, I'm gonna retighten everything, re-measure everything, and make sure everything is still even on both sides. These may be a little bit off. When you're turning this, the eyelets might not line up, so I'm gonna have to adjust that as well, which will be easy. That looks pretty good. And that one looks pretty good. We should be good to slap these babies on.